if you're a content creator, one of the biggest problems that you're gonna have is how to add movement to your shots. And you can do it to some extent with some of the AI tracking gimbals that I have reviewed in this channel, but if you wanna get movements like this, where the camera is following the subject, or maybe you wanna do a grand reveal of a location, well, you need someone to hold the camera, and that's something that some people may or may not be able to afford. And this is where this drone comes into play, because you literally press one button and the drone has some pre-programmed moves and it does it for you. No controller, nothing. And I anticipate that there are gonna be a lot more drones like this coming up in the market in the coming months or years, because this is the technology that gives you a lot of freedom. And what you can do with these little drones without the use of any controller or anything, it's amazing. So what you're getting right out of the box with this drone? Well, the first thing that you're gonna notice is that the resolution is 2.7K, it's not 4K, and that's a bit of a bummer really. But if you think about it, most of the content, if not all of the content that people are gonna film with this drone is going to end up in social media, call it YouTube, TikTok or Instagram Reels or similar, and 2.7K is just about enough. Everything that you can do with this drone, you can do with larger drones. The difference is that this doesn't have a controller, and once you do the settings on the app, you literally press one button and that's it, it's done. In 10-15 seconds, you can get your shot. If you need to do that with a standard drone, you need to unfold it, put it on the ground, launch the controller, launch the drone, then you need to set the shot, start the tracking, and then press the button, and then you have to have the controller with you because you want to make sure that the drone is not doing anything that shouldn't be doing. And that's a lot of work. Now, the quality is gonna be better, but with this drone, you literally press one button, the drone does it for you, and that's it. It makes the whole process so simple and easy. And you do get an app that you can change some settings. For instance, this drone can do, in terms of altitude, low, standard, and high. And high is gonna give you a maximum height of 50 meters, but most people are likely to be on a maximum height of 5 meters, because this drone is not intended to be a high flyer. This drone is a selfie drone and it's intended to be used close to the tracking subject. And in terms of distance, again, you can set it to close, standard or far, and obviously you need to apply your common sense, because the same laws and regulations for under 250 gram drones apply to this little drone, even though you're not gonna be flying up 100 meters up in the sky. So you need to make sure that you use your common sense. Don't use it on a very busy road or close to animals, because they're gonna freak out. Because if there is one thing that this drone is not, is silent. And in terms of battery power, you get about 10 or 11 minutes per battery. So I recommend that you carry a power bank with you, because if you need to do any more than 4 or 5 different shots, you're gonna have to power cycle those batteries and keep them on charge. Ideally, if you are a heavy user, I would recommend that you buy an extra 2 batteries, because you only get 2 batteries with the standard drone. And you get the ability to do vertical as well as horizontal, but I recommend that this drone, you use it on horizontal mode, because the resolution is not great to start with, so you don't want to be reducing that resolution to get your vertical shots. This is incredible, and I can only imagine how much better these drones are gonna get in the future, because this is the first generation and everything is on auto. There are no manual settings. There are some manual settings or manual flying that you can do on the app, but I would not recommend that in any way, shape or form. I would literally recommend that you stick to the AI tracker and that's it. If you want to fly a drone as a traditional drone, get yourself a DJI drone or any other brand with a decent controller, and then you fly that way. This drone is supposed to be used for what it's intended. You put it on your hand, press one button, and off it goes. The question that you're gonna ask yourself, just as I did myself, is, well, how good is the audio quality? Because if you are gonna be talking to a drone, like literally talking to a drone, can you actually use the footage? Is the sound any good? And the answer is yes and no. And let me explain. I use my Holyland Lark Max with my VT500 lavalier microphone, and I got the blades in the background. Then I went to my DaVinci Resolve and I applied voice isolation, and I was able to get the noise of the blades out, but the quality of the sound was not great. And this is the kind of audio that you can expect to record when you just use a traditional wireless radio mic. I then use my Hohem wireless microphones, which I love because they plug neatly directly into the smartphone, and that allows me to use my VT500. So I recorded that directly into the smartphone using the Drones app, and the drone do its magic, and the quality of the sound is actually not bad. Compare that to the quality of the audio that you get when you record the sound directly onto the smartphone using the Drone app. I think there is a big noticeable difference in quality, don't you think? And it's not as good as recording audio with no noise in the background or blades, but in itself, it's actually not bad. This drone is not designed to replace your DJI drone or whatever other brand of drone that you have, because it cannot do what a normal drone can do. It can do exactly what it is that you see now. It's supposed to be a drone that you have no controller, you press one button and off it goes. It's a great drone for B-roll, for instance. This is definitely not an A-roll drone because the quality is not there, the resolution is not there, you have no manual controls, everything is on auto. So there are certain limitations, and this is a first generation. So things will improve from now on. But for this type of shots, for walking and talking, for having the drone tracking you, or for reveal a location, this is fantastic. It's so light and simple to use. And yes, there are improvements that need to be made, and it's not perfect. But it's so liberating to be able to just press one button and off it goes. There you have the drone doing its thing. So what are the limitations? Because this is not a perfect drone, and there are certainly some limitations. So for instance, there is no 4K. The maximum resolution is 2.7K, and that may or may not be a deal breaker for you. Personally, I think that for the intended purpose of this drone, which is social media platforms, 2.7K is not great, but it's just about the minimum. It's decent quality, and the way I use this is I ingest in DaVinci Resolve, and then I super scale every single shot, and that gives me an extra bit of resolution. And if you want the footage to be a little bit more realistic, just decrease the contrast because the signal is really contrasted, and maybe add some motion blur, and you actually get some decent footage. Now in this drone, everything is on auto. There are no manual settings, so you're gonna have to live with that. And obviously that has a lot of limitations, and that's what I said earlier in the video, that this drone is basically for a small B-roll shots of 10-15 second maximum. You have limited frame rate, so for instance you don't have 25 or 50 frames per second, and hopefully this is something that they can implement in a future upgrade, or at the very least in a follow-up version of this drone. And another thing that you cannot attach to this drone is ND filters, because I tried this and I thought to myself, well, maybe I can fit the NDs from the DJI Pocket cameras, but the gimbal is not strong enough and it just didn't work. So that's one other limitation that you need to bear in mind. Wind resistance is not great. I mean, you need to understand that this drone is tiny. So if there is a little bit of wind, it can just about manage it. But this is ideally a drone that you want to use in a day where there is absolutely no wind. This is a loud drone. You are going to hear the blades because this drone is designed to be hovering close to you. And if you are talking to the drone, obviously you need to make sure that you get your audio recorded and recorded well. But despite all of this, I think for what this drone is intended for, this is not bad. So what do I think about this drone then? Is it worth the money that you pay for it? And I think if you're a content creator, especially if you're a solo content creator, this drone is going to give you the ability to do shots that you would struggle otherwise with a normal drone. And yes, at times it does feel like a bit of a lottery because you don't know what the drone is doing, you have no controller, no screen, you literally are at the mercy of whatever the drone decides to do. But the results are actually really good. This drone is not going to replace your DJI or whatever other brand of drone that you have, because this drone cannot do what those drones can. This drone is designed for short 10-15 second B-roll shots, quick and easy, where you literally press one button and off you go. That's not something that you're going to be able to do with a standard drone. And I have been a lot more relaxed about using this drone than if I had to pull out my DJI Mini 3 Pro and go through the whole motion of setting the drone and getting it up in the air. And this is now permanently in my camera bag because, yes, I know that it has many limitations, but I can live with those because I'm getting 10-15 second maximum B-roll shots that I would have struggled to do with a drone. And I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.